Listen, I did not get it. I assumed I was the person. I assumed that I was the one. Yeah. It's like 2.5 minutes.
I didn't say anything.
You can talk to me.
But you're not recording, so it's a little cheating. That's not the way it's done. They can do, yeah.
He was like,
I wonder if they have one mic per person.
Welcome. Good morning, and welcome to All Souls. Good morning, yes. For me, it's a joy to be here with you in this sanctuary and with all of you joining us on live stream. We are a welcoming and inclusive community of members and of friends, and a special welcome to those of you who are new or may be visiting with us this morning. My name is Miles Chapin. I'm a longtime member of All Souls, and joining me and our chancel today is our interim senior minister, Elaine Peresluha. You got it right? Thank you. So if you are new, or you perhaps come here infrequently, we'd love to know a little bit about you. There's a card in the rack in front of you. You can use the QR code, or you can fill out the paper form, and you can put it in the offertory plate, or you can put it in a box in the vestibule. We have a session here after the service where you can learn a lot about All Souls in 20 minutes. That's what we call it, All Souls in 20 minutes. And it will be immediately following the service, and it will be hosted by Reverend Elaine. So please come to the chancel, spend a few minutes chatting about All Souls, and we can get to know you a little bit more. We also have a newcomers bagel brunch downstairs at coffee hour as well. And coffee hour today is hosted by our Share the Plate effort, which happens once a month. As part of our effort to ease hunger and food insecurity in our city, we have new boxes in the vestibule for your non-perishable food items that you may wish to donate. Tonight at 7 o'clock, you are invited to Sanctuary Sounds. This is a meditative sound bath with Liz Torres, who is a healing sound practitioner. Come and rest in our sanctuary and enjoy this contemplative time with evocative music. All are invited to our grief support group on Wednesday evenings, which can be especially important as the holidays approach. And you can email Gretchen Gabrielson to sign up for that. And please consider opportunities to engage in the future of All Souls and to help us prepare to call our senior minister, our new senior minister. We're having What's on Your Mind listening sessions every Sunday, including this afternoon at 1 p.m. And this is a chance to get to know others in the community and to get your questions answered and to share your aspirations for the future of All Souls. And you're also invited to conversations about our bylaws, about understanding them and considering where we may benefit from proposed and proposing changes to them. We'd love to stay connected with you during the week on Sundays. We have events happening almost every day. If you're not on the mailing list, just let us know at info@allsouls.org so we can keep you informed about everything that's happening here. And now I would ask you to put your electronic devices in worship mode. I invite you to quiet your hearts and your minds as we prepare to hear the call to worship.
For those of you online, we're going to light our chalice, and I invite you to find a candle or open your hearts to these words and let your light within shine. In this room are sacred people with magical properties. There are many things to be done, and we know we have the ability to do them, to make them happen. I tell you this right now, we are doing the impossible. We are teaching ourselves to be human. When we are finished, the strands that connect us will be unbreakable. Already, we are stronger than we have ever been. Listen. We are making ready. We are making ready. Fritz?
Good morning. My name is Fritz Reuter, and I've been coming to All Souls since 2012. 5.5 years ago, on March 9th, 2020, I delivered opening words in Reedy Hall anticipating, after 7 years, an Easter opening of our restored sanctuary. But life, as it does, would soon upend things for All Souls and for me. New York City stopped construction, leaving our sanctuary unfinished. And almost on the same day, I received the test results reporting that nothing more could be done to save my Ingrid, my high school sweetheart since 1960, and my Unitarian bride since 1964. An emergency special appeal saved All Souls and let us complete some unfinished work. But Ingrid did not fare so well. Deep in the pandemic, Galen and Pamela came for visits to comfort her, and together the three of them began to write her burial ceremony. 2 months later, she died at home on 73rd Street. It took 4 months at that time for cremation and burial to be arranged, and then it was only done that quickly because of Pamela's amazing connections. The intersection of those two events was a crushing blow for me. I retreated to our summer house with unspoiled vistas of seagrass, dunes, and Atlantic sunsets, but I soon found that even that cocoon was sad and lonely. I grieved by walking mile after frantic mile in Central Park and on the vineyard fields, farms, and beaches. I wept and cataloged my time with Ingrid and All Souls by writing a pictorial cookbook of Ingrid's recipes, and then with Galen's remote help, Ingrid's actual bereavement ceremony, and finally a 185-page book detailing the course and end of the restoration project. In that autumn, Ingrid was laid to rest on a high and windy hill above the Vineyard Sound, under an oak tree, by a stone wall, with a string of young, female, masked women who played Shenandoah, an All Souls favorite. All Souls would reopen 1 year later. I began to recover over the following years until Galen's departure untethered me again. We had worked so closely together on the restoration. In the beginning, it was only Galen and I who worked up in the first year. So once again, I slid away from family, friends, my body, and All Souls. But somehow, during that time, it seems my mind required me to create a toolbox of things to keep me connected to All Souls. Sunday Zooms, Galen's sermons and poetry classes, Pamela's faithful check-ins, and of course the unbelievable restorative gifts of Alejandro's magnificent presentations to us. Then this summer, 5 years later, after a serious fall, cervical spine surgery, and a bit of help, head help, I was finally able to create a sensible place to store and remember Ingrid, to come back to a few Sunday services, find some new pastimes in New York, rejoin this week with Victor, Fidel, Deborah Taylor's All Souls Building Committee, and perhaps the nicest thing of all for me is the start of a lovely new relationship. With my 81st birthday gone by, I've discovered hope and energy. With my beloved minister gone, though I was absent for mostly 5 years, I'm looking for a new phase. And so despite the fact that my minister is not here, and that there is occasional murmuring in the pews, I think it's incumbent upon me to note this morning that after 206 years, 4 buildings, and only 11 senior ministers, when I look up today, lo and behold, All Souls is still here. It has sustained me, it sustains us, and we must sustain all souls. In recognition of that truth, I ask that you start a thoughtful consideration of a year-end gift to the annual campaign. And now, as you are willing and able, I ask you to stand and recite with me our bond of union, which is printed in your order of service. In the freedom of truth and in the spirit of love, we unite for the worship of God and the service of all. Thank you.
Our first hymn today in your hymnal is number 90, From All the Fret and Fever of the Day. Please join. Let's sing.
It has come to this.
I'm sitting under a tree beside a river on a sunny morning.
It's an insignificant event. Won't go down in history.
It's not battles and pacts where motives are scrutinized or noteworthy tyrannicides.
And yet, I'm sitting by this river. That's a fact. And since I'm here, I must have come from somewhere. And before that, I must have turned up in many other places, exactly like those conquerors of nations before setting sail.
The tapestry of circumstance is intricate and dense.
Ants stitching in the grass,
The grass sown into the ground,
the pattern of a wave being needled by a twig.
and so it happens that I am. And look, above me a white butterfly is fluttering through the air on wings that are its alone, and a shadow skims through my hands that is none other than itself, no one else's but its own.
When I am still enough to see such things,
I'm no longer sure that what's important is more important than what's not.
So
It is my personal belief that everyone arrives here with a prayer or a meditation in their heart. Whatever we call it, we arrive here for something. To express it, to hear it, to see it, to find it. Sometimes it's to express a need. Maybe you're here to ease some suffering, expand your wisdom, find courage or compassion, to accept your doubts, examine your fears, maybe to strive to be a better human being. That is why I offer you every week a moment to take a breath, to find some silence, to appreciate, to be mindful. So will you take a breath with me? And just sit. Silence. That is the true gift of prayer, inspiring us to grow into better human beings, to stop for a moment being human doings, to find and to practice what inspires us to grow. I invite you to stay seated, and we'll sing together hymn 123, Spirit of Life. Our practice of collecting an offering is a sacrament
of this self-sustaining and self-governing congregation, which is supported by the voluntary generosity of all who join us. However, if you're new to our community or if you're a visitor, there's no need to give. You're our guest. Our offering today will now be given and received to support our mission of transforming our own lives and the world around us.
I was a nurse for over 20 years before I decided seminary was the place for me. And a nursing shift was easily organized. Fire, blood, death. Those were the things we had to watch out for. So, setting priorities, knowing what was urgent or important, was pretty easy. It made itself known very quickly. Loud alarms, smoke, bad things on the floor. Understanding what is urgent, understanding what is important, discerning between the two is, for nursing, it made very effective, efficient decision-making easy. I imagine it's very similar to running a business, starting a nonprofit. You figure out how to do what's a priority, the other things fall in line, and you have success. Urgent needs, like fire and blood, are noisy. They demand immediate attention. They feel very urgent because ignoring them has very dire consequences: death. And whereas important needs, they can be a little bit quieter, a little more subtle. They're not screaming for our attention. And if we ignore them, the outcomes are far into the future and don't seem quite so dire. So there's a grid. I can't remember the name of the man who designed it. And I think it's a very technical tool. It offers you very technical advice about things are either urgent and important, which means that's the fire, blood, death thing. Do these things first. Important, not urgent. Get enough sleep, have a healthy diet, put money in your retirement fund. They have long-term successful consequences, but they're easy to ignore in the moment. Then there's the urgent, not important. These are the things that grab our attention for immediate attention, but they do not necessarily advance us to those primary goals, like Black Friday sales, watching the Super Bowl, binging the last series of Poltergeist or some other wonderful show. Then there's the really dangerous ones for all of us. That is not important, not urgent. Those are the time-wasting things that can suck us in and take up hours. Mine is chess on my phone. It's really hard for me to avoid that. When the little bell rings and the person I'm playing has moved, I'm like this, okay? There's the TikTok people and whatever else you enjoy scrolling through. And then there's always the Great British Baking Show. How many are that? That one suck you in? Yeah, there's a really big competition going on right now, I think. Yeah. It is very important to remember and to discover, to reflect, to see what is urgent or what is important, what is neither. And there's a little caveat in here which is really important for us to remember, which is that whether it's urgent or important, we as human beings tend to avoid the things that are difficult or painful. We tend to avoid those things that I call adaptive work. That's the stuff that it's really required for us to thrive in a world that is full of distractions. It's also really important for us to have a meaningful life, not to reach those technical, important goals like having enough money to retire, paying off a mortgage, raising our children with good values. Those things are important and they're pretty easy to tend to. They are a technical fix. Those are the things we like most, technical fixes. They're quick, they're action-oriented, they require some expertise that we can learn, as opposed to adaptive work, which is long-term, hard, no guarantee of success, requires us to make changes in who we are, may require new learning. When it's easy to define the problem and the solution is clear, technical. Teeth on children that are not straight. Orthodontist, plan, braces, money, time, done. Hunger, homelessness. There are some technical things we can do, like put food in the boxes, but the long-term change that we need to make so that people have homes and are not hungry, that is so much harder. And if you look at the way we deal with things, we tend to go to the technical fixes rather than tending to the adaptive changes because they're so hard. They're harder to define. There are no obvious solutions. Or maybe there's so many solutions that we can't figure out which one is the best one. And then we spend time on one and it doesn't work. That's hard. Volatility, unpredictability, those are not the kinds of things that we want to address. And often because we don't address them, it provokes more distress. So I have an example of an adaptive thing that's hard. So I have ADD. The worst thing for me is April when I approach the pile of receipts that I have to organize to do my taxes. I will spend weeks avoiding that. And finally, I have to grit my teeth and do something, this unusual task that for someone with attention deficit disorder is like death. And there's a pretty easy technical fix. All I would have to do is put them in a file under the right title when I got the receipt, right? Do you think I ever do that? No, I am looking for the immediate satisfaction of getting the receipt out of my sight. So I just drop it into the IRS file. And there in April, they all sit. I've been doing this for a long time. You'd think I would learn. It's an adaptive change, not a technical one. And the technical one is just the easy solution. Put it in that file. It'll work out. So think a minute. Your own challenges. Are there some adaptive ones that you know would be really good to address? But yeah, you're not really ready there yet. The other piece of this is that urgency is exacerbated by uncertainty. And right now, we have a lot of uncertainty swirling around us, both here in the congregation and out there in the world. And uncertainty, human beings don't like uncertainty. They much prefer things to be predictable, familiar, secure, stable. There's that whole devil we know syndrome. And what we usually do when uncertainty is high and our anxiety is high, we look for that quick technical fix. So, economic uncertainty. I'll move out of the city. I'll refinance my mortgage. I'll change jobs. As opposed to looking at the adaptive change, which is, how do I deal with this anxiety? What do I need to do to feel secure? To go inward, to maybe find a spiritual practice or a way of coping that helps mitigate the uncertainty. My favorite saying is, don't just do something. Sit there. Breathe. For some things, there is no technical fix, or the technical fix will just leave you in a place where you're unresolved. I can feel All Souls' sense of urgency right now. It comes to me in the questions about, are we going to do a developmental ministry? When are we going to get into search for a settled minister? You have had, in this sanctuary, and Fritz referred to it, you've had stability, predictable, familiar, solace, comfort. And right now, it feels like fire, blood, death. But it's really just uncertainty. Uncertainty here, exacerbated by the uncertainty out there. There's not a lot of technical fixes for us in what's going on out there. That is why you come here, to find comfort, to find some sense of security, some wisdom, some quiet, so that you can face what's going on out there. So when it's kind of uncertain here, that kind of doesn't help, right? Yeah, right. So that's why you have me. So I'm the expert, right? I'm supposed to know exactly what to do to help you through all this. And I've promised you that I will stay right with you through all of the uncertainty until you are ready to call that settled minister. The thing is, I can't do that by myself. I need you to engage with me. That's what those listening sessions that we were talking about. In the listening sessions, how many of you have been to one? Right? You get a little packet of information that tells you about what are the goals for the interim ministry that we have to complete before you're ready for a settled minister. It tells you about anxiety and how to deal with it. It tells you about appreciation. Gives you all the information you need to sit and be until you're ready. So I'm hoping that inspires you to go to some of the bylaw listening sessions, to come to the What's on Your Mind listening sessions, where you're actually given the tools that help me know when you're ready to have a settled minister so that we can form a search committee and have you go into search. But because I'm the expert, I'm not going to let you do that before you're ready, because it would be a failure. It would be a technical fix to an adaptive need. And you would find the wrong minister, and you would not be happy for very long. So, come to listening sessions, attend, go listen to board meetings, go to the meetings where the board is asking you for feedback, engage. You are like the trapeze artist. You had hold and you were swinging with your long-term minister, and you had stability and you built up strength and you had good programming, and then that minister departed and you let go of that rung, that trapeze, I don't know what they call it, the handlebars, and off you went, sailing into space. And you are so ready to grab onto that next one, but you're going to have to spend a little bit of time in the air with me, thinking about who you are, what you want. There are certain things that need to be in place around finances and staff and programming before you'll be ready to call that very special person that will be what you hold on to. So, a few antidotes for you to sort of make it through that. The first one is quiet time, right? And that works for the outside noise and uncertainty, as well as this. Create space in your time, in your schedules, to breathe. A very wise minister once told me, the holes in our schedule is where God breathes. So if you don't have space, you can't reflect, you can't calm yourself, you can't look for that adaptive change. Appreciate that everything takes longer than we expect. Assure me that you are listening to all the voices in the room, that you're discussing options with each other openly, especially those ones that tend to raise contention. Then I'll know you're ready. Demonstrate to each other your commitment to this place, financially, with your time, with your voices, with your presence. Collaborate on realistic budgeting and financing, on the things that need to be done for the building. Learn to agree on what is most important by listening and talking. Wendell Berry wrote that the world cannot be discovered by a journey of miles, no matter how long, but only by our spiritual journeys, 1 inch at a time. Very arduous, humbling, and joyful. In this room, you are each sacred people with magical properties. There is much for us to do. None of it is impossible. We are teaching each other how to be human. And when we are finished, the strands which connect us will be unbreakable. Already, we are stronger than we ever have been. We are making ready. Together, we are making ready. I invite you to rise in body or spirit, and we'll sing our closing hymn. It's number 126, Come Thou Fount of Every Blessing.
And as we extinguish the light of our chalice, we carry the fire of our commitment and the love of this community with us always. And now, in our going, may love bless us and keep us. May the light of love shine upon us and out from within us and be gracious unto us and give us peace. For this is the day we are given. Let us rejoice and be glad in it.